God, here I am again, sitting in my kitchen at 5:30 a.m. before the world wakes up, holding this cup of coffee like it's my lifeline. My heart feels heavy with the weight of everything I'm trying to juggle. Being a good mom, a loving wife, managing our home, and somehow finding myself in all of this chaos. I know you see me in these quiet moments when I'm trying to catch my breath, when I'm wondering if I'm doing any of this right. The dishes are piled high, the laundry seems endless, and my to-do list grows longer every day. I feel like I'm drowning in responsibilities, and I don't know how to find my way to the surface. You know the ache in my chest when I tuck my children into bed, wondering if I was patient enough today, if I was present enough. Help me remember that your love for me isn't measured by how perfectly I balance everything, but by how desperately I need you in this beautiful, messy life. Father, I confess that I've been carrying this burden of perfection like it was my cross to bear. Every morning I wake up with this mental checklist of everything I need to accomplish, and every night I fall into bed feeling like I failed somehow. I scroll through social media and see other moms who seem to have it all together. Their homes are spotless, their children are perfectly dressed, and they're smiling in every photo. Meanwhile, I'm here in my pajamas at noon, trying to remember if I brushed my teeth while my toddler colors on the walls with permanent marker. I know comparison is stealing my joy, but I can't seem to stop myself from measuring my worth against these impossible standards. Remind me that you didn't call me to be a perfect mom. You called me to be their mom. Help me see that my worth isn't found in how well I perform, but in how much I'm loved by you. Lord, there are days when I feel like I'm being pulled in 17 different directions at once. My husband needs my attention, my children need my care, my home needs my management, and somewhere in all of this, I've lost track of who I am outside of these roles. I love being a wife and mother, but I feel like I'm disappearing into these identities until I can't remember what I enjoyed before children, what made me laugh, what dreams I had for my own life. When someone asks me what I like to do for fun, I draw a blank because I can't remember the last time I did something just for me. I feel guilty even thinking about having time for myself because there's always something else that needs to be done, someone else who needs my attention. Help me understand that taking care of myself isn't selfish. It's necessary. Show me how to pour from a full cup instead of trying to give from an empty one. God, I'm tired of feeling like I'm failing at everything. Some days I feel like a good mom but a terrible wife. Other days I feel like I'm connecting with my husband but missing important moments with my children. I try to keep up with the housework, but something always falls through the cracks. I attempt to cook healthy meals, but we end up eating cereal for dinner more often than I'd like to admit. I want to be involved in my children's school activities, but I'm already stretched so thin that I feel like I'm letting everyone down. When other moms volunteer for every committee and bake elaborate treats for class parties, I feel like I'm not doing enough. When I see families that seem to have their act together, I wonder what's wrong with me that I can't seem to get it right. Remind me that you see my heart, you see my efforts, and you know that I'm doing the best I can with what I have. Father, I'm struggling with the mental load that comes with being the family organizer. I'm the one who remembers doctor appointments, school events, birthday parties, and grocery lists. I'm the one who notices when we're running low on milk, when the kids have outgrown their clothes, when the bills need to be paid. My mind is constantly running through everything that needs to be managed, and I feel like I can never truly rest because there's always something else to remember, something else to plan. Even when I'm playing with my children or spending time with my husband, part of my brain is still thinking about all the things I need to do. I'm exhausted from carrying all of this information, but I don't know how to let go of the control. Help me learn to delegate, to ask for help, and to trust that the world won't fall apart if I'm not managing every single detail. Show me how to be present in the moment instead of always thinking 3 steps ahead. Lord, I want to talk to you about the guilt that follows me everywhere. Mom guilt is real, and it's suffocating. When I'm at work, I feel guilty for not being with my children. When I'm with my children, I feel guilty for not being more productive around the house. When I take time for myself, I feel guilty for not spending that time with my family. When I discipline my children, I feel guilty for being too harsh. When I don't discipline them, I feel guilty for being too lenient. When I serve them chicken nuggets for the third time this week, I feel guilty for not providing more nutritious meals. When I lose my patience and raise my voice, I feel guilty for not being the calm, gentle mother I want to be. This guilt is eating me alive, and I know it's not from you. Help me recognize the difference between conviction that leads to positive change and condemnation that keeps me stuck in shame. Teach me to receive your grace and extend that same grace to myself. God, I'm struggling with the loneliness that comes with motherhood. People tell me these are the best years of my life, but honestly, some days I feel more isolated than I ever have. I spend my days talking to small children who can't have deep conversations with me, and by the time my husband gets home, I'm too exhausted to connect the way I want to. I miss having adult friendships, but making mom friends feels so complicated. I compare myself to other moms, wonder if they like me, worry about saying the wrong thing. Social situations that used to be easy now feel overwhelming because I'm out of practice with adult interaction. I feel like I'm losing my conversational skills, my sense of humor, my ability to relate to the world beyond my home. The days can feel so long and repetitive, and I sometimes wonder if anyone would notice if I disappeared for a few hours. Help me remember that you see me, you know me, and you understand this season of my life. Show me how to build meaningful connections with other women who understand this journey. Father, I need your help with the comparison trap I keep falling into. Social media makes it worse, showing me glimpses of other families' highlight reels while I'm living in my everyday reality. I see vacation photos and wonder how they can afford such nice trips. I see organized playrooms and wonder why I can't keep my house that tidy. I see moms who seem to have boundless energy and patience, and I wonder what's wrong with me that I feel tired and overwhelmed. I know these curated images don't tell the whole story, but they still make me feel inadequate. Even at school pickup, I compare my appearance to other moms, my children's behavior to their children, my involvement to their involvement. This comparison is stealing my joy and making me feel like I'm never enough. Help me remember that you created me uniquely for my specific family, with my specific gifts and challenges. Remind me that my children need me to be their mom, not someone else's version of a perfect mother. Lord, I want to be honest about the anger I sometimes feel. There are days when the demands feel relentless, when everyone needs something from me simultaneously, when I feel like I'm drowning in other people's needs while my own go unmet. I get frustrated when I clean the same mess multiple times in one day, when I explain the same rule for the 100th time, when I feel like no one appreciates the invisible work I do to keep our family functioning. Sometimes I snap at my children over small things because I'm overwhelmed by the accumulation of everything else. Then I feel terrible about my reaction, but I also feel angry that I'm expected to be endlessly patient and self-sacrificing. I know anger isn't always wrong, but I need wisdom to know when it's justified and when it's just my exhaustion talking. Help me find healthy ways to process these feelings instead of stuffing them down or exploding inappropriately. Show me how to take care of my own emotional needs so I can better care for my family. God, the financial stress is another weight on my shoulders. Whether I work outside the home or stay home with the kids, money feels tight, and I worry constantly about providing for our family's needs. I feel guilty when I spend money on myself, even for necessities like clothes or haircuts. I stress about the cost of activities for the kids, medical bills, and unexpected expenses that seem to pop up regularly. I lie awake at night calculating and recalculating our budget, trying to figure out how to make everything work. I want to be generous with others and teach my children about giving, but I also want to make sure we have enough for our own family. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing as a provider, whether that's bringing in income or managing the household budget wisely. I worry about my children's future, college expenses, and whether we're saving enough for retirement. Help me trust you with our finances and remember that you promise to provide for our needs. Give me wisdom in financial decisions and peace about your provision. Father, I'm realizing that I've been operating in survival mode for so long that I've forgotten what it feels like to truly thrive. I've been so focused on just getting through each day that I've lost sight of the bigger picture of what I want my life and family to look like. I want to be intentional about creating memories with my children, but I'm usually too stressed about the daily tasks to be fully present for the special moments. I want to nurture my marriage, but by the end of the day, I'm too exhausted for meaningful conversation or connection. I want to pursue my own interests and dreams, but I can't remember what those are anymore. I want to serve others and make a difference in the world, but I feel like I barely have the energy to take care of my own family. Help me shift from survival mode to thriving mode. Show me how to be strategic about my time and energy so I can invest in what truly matters. For those watching, there's a special ebook in our pinned comment called Don't Think, Trust and Surrender that can help ease anxiety symptoms. Remember, this complements but doesn't replace professional guidance. Lord, I need your perspective on this season of my life. Some days I feel like I'm wasting my education, my talents, my potential by focusing so much on mundane tasks like laundry and meal planning. I wonder if I'm making a difference in the world or if I'm just spinning my wheels in the endless cycle of household management. I know that raising children is important work, but it often feels invisible and unappreciated. I don't get performance reviews or recognition for the job I'm doing as a mom. I don't get promoted or raises for managing our home well. Sometimes I feel like I'm disappearing into this role, and I wonder if I'll ever feel like myself again. Help me see my work through your eyes and understand the eternal significance of what I'm doing. Show me how nurturing my family is actually nurturing the future, how the love I pour into my children today will ripple out into the world for generations to come. God, I'm struggling with the physical exhaustion that comes with this life. I'm tired in my bones, tired in my soul. I wake up tired and go to bed tired. I dream about having a full night's sleep, about waking up refreshed and ready for the day. My body aches from carrying children, from cleaning house, from the constant physical demands of motherhood. I feel like I'm aging faster than I should, like the stress and fatigue are taking a toll on my health. I know I need to take better care of myself, but I don't know how to fit exercise, proper nutrition, and rest into my already packed schedule. When I try to prioritize my health, I feel guilty for taking time away from my family. When I don't prioritize my health, I feel guilty for not taking care of the body you've given me. I need your wisdom to know how to care for myself so I can better care for others. Help me remember that my health matters too, that I can't pour from an empty cup. Father, I want to talk about the dreams I've put on hold. Before I became a mom, I had plans, goals, ambitions that seemed so clear and achievable. Now those dreams feel like they belong to someone else, someone who had more time, more energy, more freedom. I love my children with all my heart, but I sometimes grieve the life I thought I would have. I wonder if it's too late to pursue those dreams, if I've missed my chance, if I'll ever be able to find my way back to the person I was before motherhood changed everything. I feel guilty for even thinking about my own dreams when my children need so much from me. But I also feel like I'm losing myself in the process of caring for everyone else. Help me believe that it's possible to be a good mom and also pursue my own dreams. Show me how to integrate my passions with my responsibilities, how to model for my children that their dreams matter too. Lord, the decision fatigue is overwhelming. Every day I make hundreds of decisions, from what to make for breakfast to how to handle a tantrum to what activities to sign the kids up for. By the time evening comes, I can barely decide what to wear to bed because I'm exhausted from making choices all day long. I'm tired of being the family decision maker, but I also struggle to let go of control. I want my husband to take initiative, but then I criticize his choices. I want my children to be more independent, but then I worry about their safety. I want to simplify our lives, but I also want to provide opportunities for my children. Every choice feels like it has major consequences, and I'm paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong decision. Help me trust you with the big and small decisions of our daily life. Give me wisdom to know what deserves my mental energy and what I can let go of. Show me how to make decisions from a place of peace rather than fear. God, I'm dealing with identity confusion that I didn't expect. I used to know who I was, my personality, my strengths, my preferences. But motherhood has changed me in ways I didn't anticipate. I'm more emotional, more protective, more anxious than I used to be. I care about things that never mattered to me before, and I've lost interest in things that used to be important. I feel like I'm becoming someone new, but I'm not sure if I like this new version of myself. I'm more impatient, more worried, more controlling than I want to be. I miss the confidence I used to have, the ease with which I used to move through the world. Now I second-guess everything, from my parenting choices to my clothing decisions. I feel like I'm constantly performing, trying to be the mom I think I should be instead of figuring out who I actually am as a mother. Help me embrace this transformation and trust that you're shaping me into the person you want me to be. Show me how to integrate my old self with my new self in a way that honors both. Father, I need to address the resentment I sometimes feel toward my husband. I know he's working hard to provide for our family, but I feel like he gets to leave the house and have adult conversations while I'm stuck at home with the endless repetition of daily tasks. When he comes home, he gets to be the fun parent while I'm the one who's been disciplining and managing all day. He gets to take breaks, use the bathroom alone, and finish his thoughts without interruption. I feel like I'm on duty 24/7 while he has defined work hours and downtime. I know this isn't entirely fair. He has his own stresses and challenges, but I can't help feeling like our lives have become unbalanced since we had children. I want to be grateful for his hard work, but I also want him to understand how hard my work is too. Help us communicate better about our needs and find ways to support each other more effectively. Show me how to address these feelings constructively instead of letting resentment build up. Lord, I'm struggling with the loss of spontaneity in my life. Everything now requires planning, preparation, and consideration of how it will affect the children. I can't just decide to go out for dinner or take a weekend trip or even run a quick errand without extensive logistics. Simple tasks like going to the grocery store require military-level planning and coordination. I miss being able to be spontaneous, to follow my impulses, to change plans at the last minute. I feel like I'm living in a very small world where everything revolves around nap schedules, meal times, and bedtime routines. While I understand that children need structure and routine, I sometimes feel trapped by these constraints. I want to create a sense of adventure and flexibility in our family life, but I also know that too much spontaneity can be overwhelming for children. Help me find the right balance between structure and flexibility, between meeting my children's needs and maintaining some sense of freedom and spontaneity in our lives. God, I want to be honest about the fear that keeps me awake at night. I worry constantly about my children's safety, their health, their emotional well-being, their future. Every news story about something terrible happening to a child makes me imagine the worst-case scenarios for my own family. I check on them multiple times during the night to make sure they're still breathing. I research every symptom, every developmental milestone, every potential danger. I'm exhausted by the constant vigilance, but I can't seem to turn off the worry. I know that fear is not from you, but I don't know how to trust you with my children's well-being. I want to protect them from everything, but I also know that's not possible or healthy. I'm afraid that if I let my guard down, something terrible will happen. I'm afraid that if I don't worry enough, I'm not being a good mother. Help me find the balance between being appropriately cautious and being paralyzed by fear. Teach me to trust you with my children's safety and future. Father, I'm realizing that I've been trying to be everything to everyone, and it's impossible. I want to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect friend, the perfect daughter, the perfect employee. I say yes to everything because I don't want to disappoint anyone, but I'm disappointing myself in the process. I'm spread so thin that I'm not doing anything well. I'm present in body but absent in mind because I'm always thinking about the next thing I need to do, the next person I need to please. I've lost the ability to say no, to set boundaries, to protect my time and energy. I feel guilty when I disappoint others, but I also feel resentful when I sacrifice my own needs to meet theirs. I know I need to learn to set boundaries, but I don't know how to do it without feeling selfish. Help me understand that boundaries are not selfish. They're necessary for healthy relationships. Show me how to prioritize my commitments and how to say no gracefully when I need to. Lord, I'm dealing with the loneliness of making decisions that affect my children's lives. Should I let them watch TV or limit screen time? Should I sign them up for activities or let them have more free time? Should I push them academically or let them develop at their own pace? Should I be more strict or more lenient? Every parenting decision feels monumental, and I'm constantly second-guessing myself. I read parenting books, scroll through parenting blogs, and ask other moms for advice, but everyone has different opinions. I feel like I'm fumbling in the dark, hoping I'm not messing up my children's lives. I want to be confident in my parenting choices, but I feel like I'm making it up as I go along. I compare my parenting to my own parents, to other parents, to the idealized version of motherhood I see online. Help me trust my instincts and your guidance in raising my children. Remind me that there's no perfect formula for parenting, but there is your grace to cover my mistakes and your wisdom to guide my decisions. God, I need to talk about the overwhelming nature of information overload. There's so much conflicting advice about everything from sleep training to nutrition to discipline to education. Every expert has a different opinion, every study seems to contradict the last one, and every parenting philosophy claims to have the answer. I feel like I need a PhD in child development just to make basic decisions about my children's daily lives. I research everything obsessively, trying to make the best choices for my family, but I end up more confused than when I started. I'm paralyzed by all the options and terrified of making the wrong choice. I want to be an informed parent, but I'm drowning in information. Help me filter through all the noise and focus on what's truly important for my family. Give me discernment to know which advice to follow and which to ignore. Show me how to trust my instincts and your guidance more than the endless stream of expert opinions. Father, I'm struggling with the loss of my pre-baby body and the complicated feelings that come with it. I know my body did an amazing thing by growing and birthing my children, but I feel disconnected from it now. Nothing fits the way it used to, and I don't recognize myself in the mirror. I feel like I'm living in a stranger's body, and I don't know how to feel comfortable in my own skin. I know I shouldn't focus so much on appearance, but I can't help missing the way I used to look and feel. I feel guilty for caring about my appearance when I should be grateful for what my body has accomplished. I feel pressure to bounce back quickly, but I also feel like I need to accept that my body has changed permanently. I want to model body positivity for my children, especially my daughters, but I struggle with my own self-acceptance. Help me see my body through your eyes and appreciate it for its strength and capability rather than judging it for its flaws. Show me how to take care of myself without becoming obsessed with my appearance. Lord, I want to address the competitive nature of motherhood that I see everywhere. From the moment children are born, everything becomes a competition. Who's walking first, talking first, potty trained first? Birthday parties have become elaborate productions, and I feel pressure to keep up with increasingly extravagant celebrations. School events turn into competitions about who can volunteer the most, who can bring the most Pinterest-worthy treats, who has the most involved parents. I feel like I'm constantly being judged and compared to other mothers, and I find myself judging and comparing in return. This competitive atmosphere is exhausting and takes the joy out of celebrating our children's achievements. I want to focus on my own child's progress and happiness without constantly measuring it against other children. I want to be supportive of other mothers instead of seeing them as competition. Help me opt out of this competitive mindset and focus on what's best for my family, regardless of what others are doing. God, I'm dealing with the challenge of maintaining my marriage in the midst of raising children. My husband and I used to be best friends, but now it feels like we're just co-managers of our household. We talk about schedules and logistics, but we rarely have deep conversations about our dreams, our feelings, our relationship. We're both exhausted at the end of the day, and intimacy feels like another item on the to-do list rather than a natural expression of our love. I want to prioritize our marriage, but I also feel like the children's needs are so immediate and urgent that our relationship gets pushed to the back burner. I know that a strong marriage is one of the best gifts we can give our children, but I don't know how to nurture our relationship when we're both running on empty. I feel like we're growing apart, and I'm scared that we'll wake up one day when the kids are grown and realize we don't know each other anymore. Help us find ways to connect despite the chaos of daily life. Show us how to prioritize our relationship without neglecting our children. Father, I need your help with the technology boundaries in our family. I feel like I'm constantly battling screen time, social media, video games, and the endless stream of digital entertainment. I want my children to have a healthy relationship with technology, but I'm not sure what that looks like. I struggle with my own screen time and worry that I'm modeling unhealthy habits for my children. I find myself scrolling through my phone when I should be present with my family, but I also use technology to connect with friends and stay informed about the world. I feel pressure to limit my children's screen time, but I also appreciate the break it gives me when I need to get things done. I want to use technology as a tool rather than letting it control our lives, but I don't know how to find the right balance. Help me establish healthy boundaries around technology for our whole family. Show me how to be intentional about when and how we use screens, and help me model the behavior I want to see in my children. Lord, I'm struggling with the seasons of motherhood and how they affect my mood and energy. During the winter months, I feel trapped inside with active children, and the lack of sunlight makes everything feel more difficult. During the summer, I feel pressure to create magical experiences and adventures, but I'm exhausted by the lack of routine and the constant entertainment needs. The back-to-school season is overwhelming with all the preparation and adjustment, but it's also a relief to have some structure back in our lives. I feel like I'm constantly adjusting to new phases and stages. Just when I think I have things figured out, something changes. My children's needs are constantly evolving, and I feel like I'm always playing catch-up. I want to embrace each season of motherhood and find joy in the current phase, but I often find myself wishing for the next stage or missing the previous one. Help me be present in each season and find ways to thrive rather than just survive. Show me how to adapt to the changing needs of my family while maintaining my own sense of stability and peace. God, I want to talk about the spiritual aspect of motherhood and how it's challenged my faith in unexpected ways. I thought having children would deepen my relationship with you, and in some ways it has. I understand your love for me better now that I'm a parent. But I also struggle with questions I never had before. I wonder why children suffer, why some prayers seem unanswered, why life feels so hard sometimes. I want to raise my children with strong faith, but I don't always feel like I have the answers they need. I struggle to find time for personal Bible study and prayer, and I feel like my spiritual life has taken a back seat to the urgent demands of daily life. I want to model faith for my children, but I feel like I'm spiritually depleted most of the time. I know that seeking you should be my first priority, but it often feels like a luxury I can't afford. Help me understand that spending time with you is not selfish but necessary. Show me how to integrate faith into the rhythm of daily life and how to find you in the mundane moments of motherhood. Father, I'm realizing that I need to grieve some of the losses that come with motherhood. I've lost my freedom, my independence, my ability to be spontaneous. I've lost my pre-baby body, my uninterrupted sleep, my simple routines. I've lost some friendships that couldn't survive the changes in my life. I've lost the version of myself that existed before children, and while I love who I'm becoming, I sometimes miss who I used to be. I feel guilty for grieving these losses because I chose to have children and I love them deeply. But I'm learning that it's possible to be grateful for my children while also acknowledging what I've given up to have them. I don't want to live in regret or resentment, but I also don't want to pretend that becoming a mother hasn't required significant sacrifices. Help me process these feelings in a healthy way and find peace with the trade-offs I've made. Show me how to honor my past self while embracing my current role. Remind me that it's okay to feel complex emotions about motherhood. Lord, I want to address the pressure I feel to enjoy every moment of motherhood. People constantly tell me to cherish this time because it goes by so fast, but the truth is, some moments are really hard and I don't want to savor them. Some days are long and difficult, and I'm okay with them ending. I feel guilty when I'm not enjoying motherhood every single second, like I'm ungrateful or somehow failing as a mother. I love my children deeply, but I don't love every aspect of parenting. I don't love the tantrums, the sleepless nights, the constant demands, the repetitive tasks. I don't love feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and stretched beyond my limits. I know that someday I'll miss parts of this phase, but I also know that it's okay to find some parts challenging and to look forward to easier seasons. Help me give myself permission to have authentic feelings about motherhood without guilt. Show me how to find joy in the genuine moments of delight while acknowledging that not every moment needs to be treasured. God, I need your help in teaching my children about balance. I want them to see that it's important to work hard, but also to rest. I want them to understand that we should serve others, but also take care of ourselves. I want them to learn to be responsible, but also to have fun. I want them to see that faith is important, but also that it's okay to ask questions and have doubts. I want to model for them what it looks like to be a woman who loves her family deeply but also has her own dreams and interests. I want them to see that marriage requires work and sacrifice, but also brings joy and companionship. I want them to understand that life is messy and complicated, but also beautiful and meaningful. I feel like I'm failing at modeling balance because I'm so often overwhelmed and stressed. I want to show them what it looks like to live a full, integrated life where all the pieces fit together in harmony. Help me become the example I want to set for them. Show me how to live in a way that teaches them to embrace both the responsibilities and the joys of life. Father, as I pour out my heart to you about the challenges of finding balance as a mom, I feel a shift happening inside me. I feel your presence in this quiet moment, and I remember that I don't have to carry all of this alone. You see every struggle, every fear, every moment of overwhelm, and you're not disappointed in me. You're not keeping score of my failures or measuring my worth by my performance. You love me as I am, in this messy, imperfect, beautiful season of my life. I don't have to be a perfect mom to be a good mom. I don't have to have everything figured out to be doing important work. I don't have to sacrifice my own well-being to prove my love for my family. Help me receive your grace and extend that same grace to myself. Show me how to find moments of peace in the chaos, how to prioritize what truly matters, and how to trust you with everything I can't control. Thank you for this time to be honest about my struggles and to remember that I'm not alone in this journey. Lord, I feel you reminding me that balance doesn't mean perfect equilibrium every single day. Some days will be more focused on my children. Other days I might have more time for myself or my marriage. Some seasons will be more challenging. Others will be more peaceful. Balance is not about achieving some perfect state where everything is handled flawlessly, but about being flexible and responsive to the changing needs of my family and myself. Help me stop trying to be everything to everyone and instead focus on being faithful in the present moment. When I'm with my children, help me be fully present. When I'm caring for myself, help me do it without guilt. When I'm connecting with my husband, help me prioritize our relationship. When I'm pursuing my own dreams, help me do it with confidence. Show me how to move through the different roles and responsibilities of my life with grace and intention, trusting that you will help me know what needs my attention in each moment. God, I want to end this prayer with gratitude for the gift of being these children's mother. Despite all the challenges and struggles I've shared with you, I know that this is a sacred calling. These little people have been entrusted to my care, and that's both an incredible honor and a weighty responsibility. Thank you for choosing me to be their mom, even when I feel completely inadequate for the task. Thank you for the way they've stretched me, changed me, and taught me about unconditional love. Thank you for the laughter, the snuggles, the wonder in their eyes, and the way they see the world with such fresh perspective. Thank you for the privilege of witnessing their growth, their discoveries, their unique personalities emerging. Even in the midst of the chaos and exhaustion, there are moments of pure joy that make everything worth it. Help me remember these moments when the days feel long and difficult. Help me see my children through your eyes and appreciate the miracle of their lives. Thank you for the gift of motherhood, even with all its complexities and challenges. Father, I commit to seeking you first in all the chaos and confusion of this season. I commit to making time for prayer and Bible study, even if it's just a few minutes while the coffee brews or during my children's quiet time. I commit to speaking to myself with the same kindness I would show a dear friend. I commit to asking for help when I need it and accepting help when it's offered. I commit to prioritizing my marriage and making intentional efforts to connect with my husband. I commit to taking care of my physical health and seeing it as stewardship of the body you've given me. I commit to pursuing my own dreams and interests as an act of faithfulness to the person you created me to be. I commit to building authentic relationships with other women who can support and encourage me in this journey. I commit to being honest about my struggles instead of pretending everything is perfect. I commit to trusting you with my children's future and releasing my need to control every aspect of their lives. Most of all, I commit to remembering that my worth is not determined by my performance as a mother, but by your love for me. Lord, I ask that you would bless every mom who hears this prayer and recognizes her own struggles in these words. Help us to support each other instead of judging each other. Help us to be honest about our challenges while also celebrating our victories. Help us to see that we're all doing the best we can with what we have, and that's enough. Remind us that we're raising the next generation, and that's world-changing work, even when it feels mundane. Help us to find joy in the journey, peace in the chaos, and strength for each day. Show us how to create families that are marked by love, grace, and authenticity. Help our children to see that their moms are real people with real struggles and real faith, not perfect heroes who never fail. May our homes be places of safety, laughter, and unconditional love. And when we inevitably make mistakes, help us to model humility, repentance, and the power of your forgiveness. Thank you for the privilege of being mothers, and thank you for walking with us every step of the way. We love you and we trust you with our families, our futures, and our hearts. In Jesus' name, Amen. If this prayer has encouraged you today, please hit the like button and share it with another mom who might need to hear these words. We're all in this together, and your support means the world to other mothers who are struggling to find their balance. Let's build a community of grace and encouragement for every mom who's doing her best to love her family well.